And yes, we are live. And because I have my people in the studio, I am excited this morning. Come on now. Have you ever seen relics of the relics, the founders of Relic Signature? You have in the building engineer and engineer Mrs. Joe. Yes, shout out to you guys. Have you heard of Relics? You heard me say, go and get puzzles, go and get this one, go and get this is my plug forever. If she's not here, I don't know what I will do. Thank you so much for having you in the studio. And it is so awesome to have the both of you on this stream. I know a bit of their journey. Their journey has evolved right in front of me. Honestly speaking, when I watch the Ojos, I'm like, wow. Like it's always something amazing. Trust me, you want to listen to engineer and engineer message. And yes, Tolu is a masterpiece woman. Maka, why now? Why not? Why not? How will she not be? All right. How will she not be? Tolu is
Masterpiece
my
for life.
personal person. Yes, you heard me right. And engineer is, of course, you know that I love the other fathers already. And of course,
Yes, sir.
you can see that engineer Ojo is in the building. So we are going to be hearing from them how they got here, what's been here has been for them, and what their journey has been. I'll just tell you a quick story. I remember that about, I think that was 4 years ago or so, and I saw this couple walk into my office. And they sat down and, they wanted to meet with me. And while they decided to talk about their parenting, what they should do, and all of that. And all I said to them was one word. And when they did that one word, they are here today. Trust me, there are people that fly with instructions. I've never seen such a thing. In fact, it was something so tough to do. But I just said it and I was like, this is what you need to do. The next thing they were bringing me report and they were saying, we've done it and we're ready for this journey. Over to you, engineer and engineer Mrs. Tell your story. That's the story of engineer and engineer Mrs. actually. But I will let them tell the story themselves. Welcome here.
Good morning, coach. Well, good morning, coach of life.
Good morning, our international coach.
Yeah, really, it's an honor to be here this morning. And seriously, we don't take it for granted. I really, really want to salute our African number one parenting coach. I call her coach of life. And what I mean coach of life is because he has transformed everything about our life. And when we mean about our life, me, my husband, my children, and every facet of our life, and we don't take it for granted. We want to appreciate you, ma, and we want to appreciate Governor. Yeah, our governor, yes, the master conclavite.
Master conclavite.
Yes, it too has been an instrument that God has been using to grow this home. All salute to all the others. Michael Watts one day. Well, I love you all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, masterpiece women. We are on the journey of becoming to become. Yes, so it has been a great journey for us. I don't know, my husband, I want him to start.
Okay, thank you very much, our international coach, Coach Wendy. It's an honor and it's a privilege to be here this morning, and we don't take it for granted. I could remember some years down the line, going to about 2021.
Yes.
I think that was the first meeting.
Yes.
I think what happened, I just followed my wife to the office. She wanted to collect some books, and I said, okay, no problem. Let's just go together. And boom, we started conversation. And we started talking so many things. And from the conversation, I realized that, okay, it's always good to have this kind of people you relate with. And you have, from that day, I started having another perspective about parenting, about life, about marriage. My wife came into the yard before me, and she has been doing all those things, she used to go from one group to the other. But at this particular point in time when she joined TIP, I noticed a difference. But the thing is that I didn't join TIP until 2 years later. I mean, getting enlisted. So, but I've been supporting TIP from the back. Those stuff. When you say do this, we do it. Do that, we do it. We look at it. In fact, it started from at a point when we had to do family vision and value. So I said, okay, me, I like structure. I like anything structure. Oh, do it this way. When you do it this way, you get this result.
Yeah,
so when
we get
yes. I like structure. I don't like people doing things anyhow. Okay, if we need to do it this way and we do it this way, we get this result. That you'll be doing it anyhow. Everybody will come and do it anyhow. So when we did the family value system, in fact, it was something that involved the whole family, the children and the rest. We sat down. Okay, this is the essence of the thing, not just because TIP said it's part of the things we need to do, but as a family, we need to have a value system. That is what you believe in as a family. So we sat down, we wrote down a value system. And the thing is, we made the children to also understand why we have in the value system. This is what you believe as a family. We related so many other things we have learned while myself and my wife were conversing. Anytime we listen to webinar, we'll come back, we just discuss it. So we discussed all these issues and we got the buy-in of the children. And even before that, our children, at a point, they were away. They were not staying with us.
It was coach. After that
it was after that conversation with the cover. And I asked, this kind of children, you don't have to outsource your children parenting.
We're outsourcing the parenting.
No, you don't need to do it. You need to take the bull by the horn, do your work as a parent. If you are not ready to be a parent, please, why are you giving back? Do your work as a parent. So, in fact, immediately after that session and the rest of the conversation, I say, okay, I decided I've moved into Abuja. I said, okay, no, my children now, they have to be with me. And shortly after that, my wife too got to transfer and she moved to Abuja. I said, yes, now we are running a particular structure. And so we have to follow all the rules. I said, I don't want a situation whereby I will have an intention and I expect somebody else to carry out such intention. You don't know my mind. You don't know what I believe. You don't know what is my value. So I have to make that impact directly. At a point, to be an intentional parent, you have to also be intentional in becoming what you want to see, what you want your children to become. And it starts with you as a parent. You have to model it. You have to model it to the children. It is what they see they can relate with. And so I've come to realize that, okay, in your intentional parenting journey, it is not just anyhow. It is not just because you have children, you do that responsibility as a father, provide school fees, provide food, provide this and that. It goes beyond that. You have to be intentional about what you are raising. You have to be intentional about your family. You have to be intentional about every facet of your family, your wife, your children. And so when my wife was doing the intentional journey and we'll come around, we'll share. At times we'll invite me, okay, let us listen to webinar. I may not be listening to live webinar, but somehow we find a way of listening to the webinar. And I've listened to a lot of webinars, or let me say we have listened to a lot of webinars, and part of the webinars, one of them that really relates with me before I go further is that time and energy management. So along the line, anytime we are coming, if we don't listen to life, we'll have a way of managing the time. We listen to webinars on the go, while we are going to work, while we are coming back. And so, to cut the long story short,
That's how you join.
that was how I joined the intentional parenting. And I'm a yada now. And I also encourage every father. If you are a mother here and your husband has not joined the yard, find a way to bring your husband into the yard.
Okay.
And it is not by showing
Arrogance of knowledge.
arrogance of knowledge,
I know.
because that is what would deter most men. I'm telling you from the perspective of a man. Don't come and be telling me this. You just learn. You too, you just learn it. So don't be arrogant with it. Calm down.
You just let it.
And then let us run it together. And that I enjoyed it, man.
Okay. Thank you so much. Coach. Well, my husband has narrated how he joined the yard. Yes. And seriously, I honor you, babe. You've been part of this journey since I started, though you didn't join until after 2 years. So back to my own story of how I joined. Well, I joined in 2021, and after I've heard Coach preach during Pastor Favor Sosiri's Women's Conference, I can't remember all the ministers that ministered that day, but your section was so striking because I was like, wow. Then I was in teenage church, children church, winners, and I was listening. I was like, I am in teenage church, but some of the things that I'm hearing, I am not even applying it. At that time, our kids were not with us because we, thank God that when we got married, I will say that we got it right because at that time we understand what marriage is all about. We've attended marriage classes. We understand why we need to actually have a marriage in Christ. And well, we both heard God saying we want to marry. But, parenting was not discussed at all. I don't think it was part of any of our discussion when we were getting married. We knew we were going to have this number of children, but we never talked, how are we going to raise these kids? It was not discussed because we thought that, for me, my belief was when you give birth, you start just nurturing as life unfolds. So for me, it was like a progressive elaboration. But it was not until I heard you that 2020, I can't forget that section. And after that section, I went online and I looked for, who is this Wendy Oluge? I saw a lot of webinars, classes, and I listened to, I said, I am on a long road. And at that time, my daughter was already 11. I began to understand why she has been behaving, how she has been behaving, some pattern that we've talked that we never wanted and we're seeing and we don't know how to undo it. And you started talking about inner circle. I said, that inner circle, I must enter. Every time after the section, you talk about inner circle, come to inner circle. I say, that was how I joined the inner circle. And seriously, it's been transformational for me. I won't say it has not been transformational. Now, from my marriage to my children, initially, let me even talk about myself. I have seen a transformed person. When I got married, of course, I got married to my colleague and I felt that, well, yes, marriage is there. We'll do it. We'll do life. We'll just be. But I never knew that, well, it's my colleague, but it's my husband that needs to be honored, that needs to be served, that needs to. Inner circle taught me that. Inner circle taught me how to live to be a better self. Listen to those webinars, I will look at myself, I will review myself, I'll say, Tolu, you just think you are good, though. You are not. You have a lot of things to work on. You have a lot of, inner circle has really exposed a lot of things, the shortcomings that I can't see, nobody gets to tell you. One thing I love about this platform is the raw truth. People telling you, Coach, you are always telling us the truth. Sometimes we are humbled, like,
Yes, sir.
We have not done this. So how do we go about it?
That's
How do we go about it? This has been a journey for us. And for the past 5 years, it has been from one level of glory to another level of glory. I keep on saying that we've been able to achieve systematically. We've been able to look at one particular area, we work on it. We are not rushing, no. We are not rushing. We are not rushing to go anywhere. You know, when we look back, recently, me and my husband were talking about, we look at our son and we look at how he handles things. I say, Kai, Israel has grown. Child, you know, we knew how it started. We knew the challenges. This is somebody that cannot sit down. This is somebody that cannot sit down. This challenge has been there for years. I remember when he was still a young child, and the teacher would say, I think you need to take this child to the clinic. And I would say, there's nothing wrong with this child, that this child is normal. He said, can't sit down. My son cannot sit down for 2 minutes. It was that problematic. But you know, your exposition to showing us the way to go about it. I look at my son, even this morning, he was like, what are you doing? I need to finish up some things. Oh, you didn't wake me up by 1 o'clock. Why do you want to wake up by 1 o'clock? Because I needed to finish a lot of tasks. This is what Inner Circle has given to us. For my daughter, Kai, my daughter, at the point I joined Inner Circle, Kai, it was my daughter, we were apart. We had fallen apart. She never wanted anything. Mommy, she would tell me, I don't even want to stay in this house. I can't wait to leave this house. That same person now is the one that is, man, I can't wait to go back to the house. The other time that we say, you are going back to the hostel, they were like, going back to which hostel? I am not going back to the hostel. Because we saw a lot of gaps, we were able to work on it, and we have the result that we have, Ma. Let me allow you to talk, Ma.
Awesome. Yes, if you're just joining us, you have engineer Mrs. Ojo, Tolu, and Ayo. Amazing people. Yes, if you heard me talk about people in my corner, you heard me talk about the Ojos. Thank you so much for being here. I do not take your love and honor for granted. So you know what Tolu was saying when she said, you know, we just came in. You know how I stabbed some level of basketballs? On that day, I think I stabbed them some level of basketballs. In my mind, I was like, these people are just going to go away. These are basketballs like this. But I think when they finished, you know, people who can run with instructions. So, you know, somebody was asking me a question and said, are there people that you know that no matter what you tell them, they're going to actually be able to do it, knowing that it's the truth? And there are people that I know that if I say now, this is how we're supposed to move, we'll just be moving. Thank you again for being such an awesome couple. And you know, it was when we started to now when I see the children, of course, I have the privilege of being able to actually know these people, you know, to their home. And when I see the children, I'm like, you know, from there, like Tolu said, from where we're coming from to here. A lot of us have a lot of testimonies that we cannot even exhaust. But I want us to, you know, get into the part, because Rellis was one of the first people who showed that you can find purpose right in the yard. And honestly speaking, it was such a thing for me, you know. And she's going to tell that story. But before she does, I just want to tell you that if you do not know Rellis' signature, then you're a long train. If you're a new yarder, just get ready. That's part of your plugs to be safe in this act. If you don't know them, you're your own. By the time we're firing you from different angles, have you gotten this one? Your puzzle. Somebody was asking me. So we've now finished buying books. Are we okay? I say, you will see recommendations are coming. You buy puzzle, you buy games, you buy books for your children. Just get ready. It is a whole run. But Tolu, tell me, what is that thing in the Inner Circle? I want you to, briefly tell us about that story. How did you get to begin Rellis' signature? Over to you.
Thank you so much, Coach. So I always say Rellis' signature was given birth right in the Inner Circle. Yes, our success story, you know, it was not like this is what we wanted to do. I remember we've talked about different businesses. I've even done different businesses, but when we joined the inner circle, Coach started talking about how we need to have alternatives for our kids. And one time, me and my husband like, we need to get this puzzle. So when we got puzzle, and the guy said, you can't buy small, we need to buy plenty. And when we got in, we said, it's not only us that needed it now. That was the birth of Relic Signature. It was after COVID, people were struggling to get materials. And we too, we were struggling because at that time there was no travel. So because normally if we travel, that's when we get all the resources that we needed. We were not using it well at that time. We just buy it for buying sake. We will just buy it. We don't know how to use it. You know, there's possibility for you to have some tools and you don't even know how to implement it. Inner Circle will teach you how to implement and use those tools. This is one thing that Inner Circle taught us. And we said, okay, this is something. Our children started using it. This is something that every parent needs. Well, one thing we never wanted was kids being stranded on the screen because we learned it from Inner Circle. Screen addiction. Me, I grew up not having screen in my home, but we never knew that it was one of the problems until we entered Inner Circle. And we needed to remove our children from the screen. So by the time we started using this puzzle, and we said, okay, that was how we started getting. I remember the first shipment we did, 2 boxes. We don't know how it's going to be. We just believe that people will get it. And really, that was the beginning of Relic Signature. We started buying it. We went for the first TIP Summit. I can't forget that TIP Summit. I can't forget because I always reference to it. I always tell my kids that when you start something small, you won't know how big it will become. Right. I remember that I've never gone out to go and market like that. We've never gone for any exhibition. They announced that conference. We have just a small 2 cartons, nothing much. We've advertised in December, and the puzzle that we bought got sold out, and we bought another 2 small cartons. Yeah, and my husband said, "Let's try it. Let's go for it." And we paid for the exhibition. We went to remember we had the yellow clothes. Yes, we did branding. We did branding. You know, you started talking about branding that time. We did branding. It was my husband, me, and my children that came for that. And after that, a lot of inspiration as we begin to behold, we become, and we begin to see what these tools can do for children. I keep on saying it that every time I sit down and I want to do product research, the revelations, the inspiration that comes is because of how I have grown in Inner Circle. You know, spiritually, because I always tell people that after meeting Coach Wendy, it's not that I don't hear God or I don't, after meeting you, the inspiration, the rhema, let's use the rhema that comes with every word on the altar, every word of God, it's quite different. It hits you like, start running. If you don't run, another person will take this. And that has kept Relic Signature. And that is our story. That's our success story. Anytime we look at, we recently launched the second store. Coach was there, and we looked at what God has done. It is marvelous in our eyes, and what He's still doing. When we look back at 2021 and where Relic Signature is in 2025, and what God has in mind for Relic Signature, Kai, it's mind blowing. And we know that working in His purpose and staying glued to what He's teaching us daily from this yard, we are going to get there. Thank you so much, Coach.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Engineer Mrs. Engineer Ayo. Do you want to say something?
Okay, just to add little to it, I always talk about structure, maybe because of my background. There was a time we had an engagement with governor, just about the business. TIP, Master Conclave, all of them are together. So we had an engagement with Governor, and he was just advising us on what to do, this and that. And when he was talking about all those structure, in fact, it was myself and my wife that we had the section together, and we say, okay, as this business is growing, what can we do? What are those things you need to do? And one thing you always learn from this platform is it's not only about parenting. You also learn how to improve yourself. And when I say people, you just say, oh, you cannot just be a lone ranger. You have to have somebody that you are following. If you are following somebody and you are following the right person, you will see the right results. And so from inner circle, we've been able to upskill the business. By virtue of those things we hear every now and then, how to improve yourself. If you improve yourself, there's no way it will not rub up on your family. There's no way it will not rub off on your business. There's no way it will not rub off on your career, because you are becoming what you hope to become. But in the process, there is a real work that goes into it. You just don't sit and you say, oh, you hope to get this without doing the work. It is the working by virtue of what you hear daily on this platform, that when you go back and work on it, it's not just to hear. Because I know a lot of people come and, oh, I belong to this group, I belong to this group. But what has happened? What has translated? What has improved in your life if you are just part of the group and nothing has happened? And so I always challenge people. I don't just join, okay, I want to, because people just join. But what is in it? How is it going to impact my life? How is it going to impact my family? How is it going to affect everything around me? So part of the impact is what we have seen in the business. We have learned so many things, how to be diligent, honesty as a skill. Even when you are doing business, it's not only about your family. When you apply it, the applications of all these things you learn, it is not just by sitting down. For somebody, for instance, for somebody like me, I may not have time to be listening, but as you pick it one by one, you go ahead, apply it, and you see the result. The result will encourage you to come back because you are seeing it as you are applying it. And I want to encourage everyone, especially intending fathers. I know so many fathers will come by virtue of this. If you don't take that step and you leave your wife to be taking that step alone, there won't be proper alignment. It is when you come together and listen to the same thing, that is when you can pick up the race, work on it, and get the expected results. So every father, I want to encourage you, don't leave the parenting job to your wife alone. Don't just say it's a woman thing. When you say it is a woman thing, you will meet it where you left it, because you are not making any progress. It is not only a woman's job. It is for husband and wife to form a proper structure of family and to move yourself forward, to see the future you are envisaging to see in your children. It is not just by wish, it is by work. It is by putting all those things that you hear on a daily basis into action. So let me stop at this point.
Thank you so much, Engineer Ayo. Engineer Ayo is my son's namesake. The Ayos. I love them. Please forgive us if you see me all over the Ayos. It's just that there's an affinity. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you. You have the Ojos. They are conclavites. They are. In fact, if I don't need to do anything, and I look for them, like I just turn and they are there. It's standard, One day I was having a conversation with Tolu. Tolu was like, it's standard now. Every other person is not there. We're there. It's just so you know that you're running and there's a standard. There are people just have standard. We're moving. I'll tell you a quick story. We're going to go and do TIP Summit London and TIP Summit United Kingdom. And the Ojos were supposed to be on another trip on another thing. And then Tolu calls me and say, Mama, yeah, it's London. I think we should come. I'm like, I don't understand. Where will you be? Because of course, They are always all over the place. And she said, no. We will just do something and arrive at Birmingham. And yes, the Ojos were at Birmingham. We were at Birmingham together. Same. It was such a fun trip. You know, after that, I was like, I think we should all take a trip together, like no matter what we do. And if you're prepared, please come into the conclave, come into the Oilers. I couldn't be prepared.
Masterpiece. Come into the masterpiece because we must come and prepare you again. We can't wait for next year.
Yes, in February we are back in the UK to prepare you again in Masterpiece. Are you ready? Are you even ready for it? Tolu, are you ready with our list?
Come on.
Ready. You are not coming, no. Stay back. This is
Please,
for
we are supporting.
You are supporting. We are supporting.
Thank you again. You're listening to my intentional parenting journey, and you have engineer Mrs. Ojo, and they are the founders of Reli's Signature. I have seen Reli's blow up in my eyes. I saw the first thing that Reli sold, honestly speaking. The day we went to open the second shop, I was like, wow. When they gave me mic to speak, I had tears in my eyes because you know how you see something small blow up, literally, and that's just by the things, right? That's just by the things that you can see every day and implement. You know, I told somebody, recently, the person was like, should I join Inner Circle? I said, join. If you join Inner Circle and your life does not improve, and I mean your life, everything, just leave. There's no need being there. You know, I said, I'm beginning to talk like our Father in the Lord, who says, if you join this church 3 months later, you don't see results, please leave. And that's the same thing I'm telling you. Leave. That means it's not a place for you. Yes, you have the Ojos. And they've shared how the Reli Signature came to be just by being in the yard. There's something, Engineer Ojo said. He said, the truth of the matter is that if you leave your wife to do everything, this parenting will meet you where it is that you have left it. And for those of us who actually think that this is for people who are not busy, the Ojos are active engineers, and I mean active, working in the oil and gas system. In the field, there are field people. You know, when you say people are busy, right? Busy. But they've just made a choice. They've just made a choice. It is about their choice, all right? Somebody says, can Reli please check their website? I can't seem to access it.
No, it's www.relisignature.com.ng. There's an NG at the back.
Okay, all right. Tolu, please write that in the chat so that we can just put it here. Thank you so much for those who are going to go and check out Reli Signature. You can follow them on Instagram as well. All right. So before we get into the webinar proper, maybe you can tell us how your marriage has been transformed being in this system. I think I will go to Tolu, knowing that I know this story a little bit more. So Tolu, please over to you.
Okay. Marriage. I was telling somebody that I would have left this marriage if not that I joined Inner Circle. Yes. You know, when you marry, of course, you know, in life, marriage is the next thing they will tell you, do this, do that. So I got married because it's statutory. Of course, I've learned about marriage, and I was so I would say that my husband was more intentional when it comes to marriage, but me, I wasn't. You see, when I got married, I was more about my profession. Yes. Anything, it is me and my profession. You see that I wanted to become on the top echelon of my profession. That was who I was. So I was not ready to compromise on marriage. Well, you just do your own. I want to be the this and that in my organization. That was my mindset. Until I joined TIP, I began to see myself. Number one thing, I will tell you one of the transformation things that came for me in TIP. You know, that 5 love language, I will talk about it. So I have this love language that my love language is act of service and gift. That was majorly my love language. Inner Circle taught me how to love my husband. Do you know one thing? My husband's love language is touch, and my own was 0. My own was 0, and I was not bothered about it. I was not going to when they touched me. Even my children, their love language was majorly touch, and I would just be like, "Why are you people touching me? Just shift, 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 shift." I never knew that I was sending them away. Seriously, I was like, "What's this? I don't want anybody to touch me. I don't want." When I read that book, I said, "Wow, hey." Inner Circle taught us that you don't expect to give love in your own way. You must understand the love language of that person and be able to give that person that love language. That's when you begin to speak to the emotion of that person. That's when you begin to speak to the love language of that person. I say, really? That was transformational for me, because immediately I began to learn how to cuddle, how to hug. Things begin to change. You see how I say, "Oh, my sweetheart, don't worry. Now I can hug in the public. Now I can do everything. Now I can hold hand." And that was it. Like I was saying, I was not really like, this marriage, let's just be there. And anyhow, we move. But being in Inner Circle made me to honor. You know, honor as a skill. Hey, that is one webinar I can never forget. I began to see my husband, as the head of the home, as the person that I need to give maximum respect. Before, I would just say, I always joke at him that, I used to make caricature of you. Hey, before I got married to you, you are one person that I will laugh and say, "Hey, this man that I love now, I'll say, hey, this guy, oh, Kai." But really, is my heart of my heart, I can't, he has become someone that I give reference to every time. And thank you so much, Adeji, for doing live with me, for even staying put when I was misbehaving. Coach, I misbehaved. My husband would just
You have that character at some point.
I have
Bad behavior.
bad behavior. You get it. My husband stayed put. He was so intentional about the marriage. He was so strong that this marriage must work. I really, really salute you for standing that despite all my behavior, you stood your ground and you watched me transform to who I am today. And I can't not always celebrate you for that. Thank you, Ayode Jojo. Thank you so much, Coach. Let me not take much of our time.
You love that, Aya Ojo. That's how she pronounces her name.
That's why that will come.
Aya Ojo. And I love it. Thank you so much, Tolu, for sharing that. That was so amazing. When you actually get to a point where somebody was talking to me yesterday, my mother was like, "You have bad behavior. They are calling your husband out. But I will give you when we get into a session. Don't worry. Because your bad behavior is really bad. Before you call the next person out, talk about your own bad behavior." And it's so amazing. It's so amazing to see Engineer Ayo. When I met Engineer Ayo, Engineer Ayo used to just not say a word. Now, when I meet him, we will talk till the end of time. Like, we will gist and gist and gist. In fact, I'm like, Engineer Ayo, is that you? And then we don't be gisting and going. I'm like, that's a miracle. In fact, in Birmingham, I turned to Tolu. I said, "This is our testimony. We have not finished it. So we don't post it." Like, "Sir, sorry, we're gossiping with you. We do it small at the back, but we're not bad kind of thing. It's very good." Thank you again for joining us. It's been an amazing time. Talk to us. That you had already mentioned one of the webinars that struck you and changed your life. Do you have any other one? You mentioned time management. Do you have any other webinar that you want to share with us before we go over to Tolu?
I think, which one? The 10 Gates of Parenting. The 10 Gates of Parenting. Okay. Do I go ahead?
Go ahead.
Okay. I know I've talked about time and energy management, but let me still expatiate more on that time and energy management before I go to 10 Gates of Parenting. When you talk about time, everybody have the same time. Whether you are a worker or you are whatever part of life you find yourself, everybody have equal time, 24 hours. So when I listen to Coach Wendy, when he was talking about time and energy management. You know, this adage in my place of work. We talk about work-life balance, and true, you can't balance the work and life. You can only balance your energy, manage your resources, channel your energy into the appropriate direction. And so, this particular webinar really resonates with me in the sense that I'm this kind of person that I can concentrate on something and be doing it. But at the end of the day, you feel that you may not even be able to achieve what you are doing. And so when I listen to managing your energy, that means putting down your energy, channel it into the resources that will translate into a profitable result for you. I began to work on it. And not only that, you know, one thing with me, once I get something like this, it doesn't stop with me. I just try to push everybody around me within the family. Okay, like when I started with my son, he can start doing some things. So if I want him to do it, I'll go and tell him, oh, this is what we are doing today. So can we look at this list? Which one will you want to do first? And tell me why you want to do this one first. So when we discuss it, we'll now say, okay, this one will not take more than 10 minutes. This one will not take more than 2 minutes. This one will not take more than 3 minutes. When we look at it together, and I'm standing there looking at him, he's channeling his energy into what he loves to do, and he's doing it on time. And so bringing it back to myself, when I want to organize my day, I wake up very early in the morning. I put it on my head, oh, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And sincerely, I've been able to channel my energy to those things that will be profitable for me. It is not just by going around and saying you are very busy, you are very busy. It's just because you have not been able to structure your time and put your energy into the appropriate direction that will be of benefit. And coming to the family. So when you say time management, you know, when everybody have time and they say they want to do this, they want to do that. How do you structure your family? You have your strong points. You have those your areas of strength. Why can't you focus on it? It's not just about going, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. At the end of the day, you don't get to finish everything. And for me, as a person, I've learned to do whatever I start, you must what? You must finish it. And that is one of the adage in my home. Say, if you start something, you must what? You must finish it. And prioritize whatever you want to do. Which one should come first? Which one should not come first? And when you structure your life in this pattern, you will see yourself achieving more.
Yes.
Than you think you can achieve. You know, when we're talking about ready signature and the rest, all this one, you know, it's about just sitting down and say, okay, this is what you want to do part-time. At this phase of your life, what do you want to do? Once you put a time to it, okay, within so period, let us work towards this. And we channel our energy into it. And once you channel the energy, you continue to review, okay, are we getting the expected results? Are we getting what we are supposed to get? And if you don't get it, you go back again and review what is wrong. So for me, as a person, it's one of my takeaways. It's not only about time, you manage your energy. And secondly, let me go back to the 10 gates of parenting. So when we talk about the 10 gates of parenting, you know, there's something that coach said. He said, freedom without formation is destruction.
Yes.
It struck me. So, but sincerely, is there any true freedom? There is no true freedom.
Yeah.
Because at every point in life, something must be guiding
We're
you.
not all free now.
It is not all free. So your life must be structured. So if you just want to live anyhow, you get anyhow results. So there is no total freedom anyway. And one thing that also caught my attention is access is connected to attitude. Access is connected to attitude. And when I was listening to the webinar, I was talking about our daughter, that you don't get what you get because you are my daughter, but it's an advantage to you. And I've come most of the time, I tell my children, I say, no, don't take this thing as your entitlement.
All right.
It is not your entitlement. You just privilege to have it. So don't have this, don't go about with this entitlement mentality. So when you have opportunity to do something, don't just feel, oh, every now and then it is my right, I should have it. I even told them, I said that you wake up in the morning and you go to kitchen and you can just cook, doesn't give you a right that anyhow you must just be cooking and be wasting food. It is good that you have opportunity to eat, but take it as what? As a privilege. Any life that is not structured will go anyhow. And at a point, I think I was listening to you, you are talking about relating to the freedom. When some people will say, when children get to the age of 18, they are now free to do, which kind free? To do anyhow. Who gave that ultimatum that when you get to 18, you can just behave anyhow? I say, even at this my age, I can't just behave anyhow, sir. I can't just behave anyhow. There's still something that will control you.
Yes. We're all being controlled.
You're being controlled. And you must stay controlled. If not, your life will be down.
Yes, you must stay controlled.
So when I see some parents, this one is already this, and he can now be doing this, he can do that. Have you checked if his lifetime qualified to take up that next level in life? You will see somebody who is 16 years old, who is properly structured, properly managed, and have grown through the various levels, being able to manage something. But you also see a 30-year-old that will be raising like a 14-year-old person.
Yes.
The difference between the two is that they have not gone through proper structure.
Yes.
They have left the gate open for them at the undue time. When you think this is what at this stage, because everybody is doing it, then I have to do it. If you have not matured up to that level, you can't just go and do it. If you do it, you will get anyhow results.
Awesome. Please, Tolu, you want to pick it up from there? What will be your top webinars?
So my top webinar would be teaching your children the skill of extracts. That webinar, forget that webinar. Kai, that webinar extracted a lot of things about my life. While growing up, when you are doing, they used to call me one name, Tolu Machine. I talk a lot and I was a fast talker.
Hey, I learned one, Tolu Machine.
It's only my secondary school people that call me. I'll be talking. They will be saying, don't talk too much. You can talk too much. You can talk too much. I'll just stop talking. I never knew that was one thing that God has given to me. Listen to that message. Begin to unveil some gifts that God has given you, have an issue that growing up and development and the environment has really, really trained of you. And I begin to see that the reason why you need to look at the gifts that God has given to your children and begin to own it and begin to, prepare them for what God has in store for them. So, when you see a child that is skilled in a particular thing, begin to help that child to, master it. Ensure that you put structure around it. Ensure that, you are good at this. Begin to help that child to do it better and well, because that is one of the extra that God has placed in that child's life. Instead of you, I sometimes, initially my daughter, she loves dress and everything. I'll just be like, I don't know, I'm not fashionable. If you see me, I am not fashionable. I am not. And when my daughter is like, hey, you dress like this, I'll just like, what are you they do? But that's webinar actually opened my eyes. And I've seen a friend say, oh, I celebrate Isabel's know how to dress very well. Her fashion style is top notch. I just like, wait, see. When you said that, it's out of envy because it's showing what we lack.
Okay, is it me or my guest that is out of the stream?
I now know why I'm always complaining that what is it? It is me that needs to deal with that. I begin to see her. So when she say, oh, can I get this clothes? She understands the values of what we are. The clothes must not be the and I will not look at the end of the day. If she tells you how to design and how to match up clothes, she's even our son, anytime she will go and say, when you ask, can I do this? I say, I do it. Say, no. Let me check out with Isabel because I know that you people are old school. You don't even know how to dress. Your fashion sense is not there. So the gift of extra. So what are those skills that your kids have that you can hone on? My son's on its ability to settle conflicts. He is good at that.
He's a good negotiator.
He's a good negotiator and conflict resolution. No, since my son will, and sometimes when he was, I just say, I will just shock him. But Inner Circle has taught me how to own that skill. Recently, was it on Sunday? Me and my daughter, we had some talk, and he just said, "Mommy, okay, can you tell me the part of the story?" Inner Circle has taught me to be humble. When you can imagine your son coming up to you, this is the growth that Inner Circle has brought us to, and said that, "Oh, mommy, Isabel seems to be displeased at what happened. So can you please explain your side of story?" Yeah, Inner Circle mothers, this is what we've learned. I explained, and he said, "Okay, I've listened to Isabel's side of story, and this is what she really meant." And he begins to analyze, he begins to talk, and I was looking like, is this my son? It's my son now that is settling and resolving conflict amicably. And I explained to him. So my son will say, because sometimes you guys need someone to even be in the middle of, so that can hear you out and now explain better to this person and explain better. So we've helped both of them to grow in these extras. And these are few things that, because I know that we are short of time. Another one is my husband has talked about energy and time management, building executive function skills. You know why that one is, I'm big on that, because it relates to everything in Relics. Is one of our cardinal points, because building skills is one thing that really stands for. We are looking at building concentrations, we are looking at building problem solving, we are looking at building all those skills. If you're in Inner Circle, you understand what the executive function skills are, and that is what really stand for. Because when your kids engage with these resources, you begin to see them growing in these skills, because these are the skills that they need for life. These are the skills that they need for life. Because if your child cannot think, if your child cannot follow instruction, it becomes a big problem. We have seen a lot of child that when you give them, oh, follow this instruction, they are jumping. I always tell my children that you fly with instruction. Have you ever seen a plane that I said, I just feel like, no. It's instruction that is the most important thing. And your ability to hear instruction, follow it straight away. And you don't ask questions. You don't ask questions. When God will be talking to you, it opens it part in part for you. So the earlier you believe what God is saying and telling you to move, because it begins to tell you the next step. If you don't take that first step, sorry, you are stuck. You are stuck. God is not going to open the next level for you. So your ability to listen to instructions. So these are skills that kids need in life. Even not only kids, we the adults. We found a lot of parents are struggling with skills. And I will tell you, using these products will help you build those skills. Patience. A lot of us are not patient. Me. Inner Circle has taught me patience. So hey, sometimes I look at myself and say, how? Hey, I have learned a lot of things. Coach, I don't want to take much of my time. Let me just.
Awesome. The word of the day: if you must stay controlled You must stay controlled so that your life will not be out of control. That's my word for today. And I don't know if you heard it when Engineer Ayo said it. If you want to just continue to just be out of control, you're on your own. All these are they controlling me? Why are they telling me what to do? Somebody will need to tell you what to do now. According to my father in the Lord, Bishop David Oyedepo, who you follow determines what follows you. Who you follow determines what follows you. What is following you? And of course, the 10 gates of parenting was that webinar you love to listen. New Year that said to me, Coach, can we just come and listen to just this last webinar? I say, how? You will get destabilized. There's no how. You can't get it. The boss will throw you off. You will even join a circle after it. But when you have been, do you know where they are cooking us? When you have been cooked, when you finish getting cooked, then you can pass through the fire gladly. Thank you again. You have Engineer and Engineer Mrs. Ojo. And the both of them are the founders of Really Signature. And yes, Tolu has been in the inner circle now for 5 years and counting. And Tolu is a masterpiece woman, through and through. And she's also a conclavite. The both of them are conclavites. And they are the conclavite that conclave. You know the conclavite, the conclavite. Yes. You know counting conclavites. People who go for retreat. You say your Joes are out of the numbers. In this kind, it's impossible that they are not there, except somebody died and nobody has died.
We are there. And you must always, I always tell people, if you don't plan to be somewhere, you can't be there. It's not that we just ensure that this is what we want to go for. And God will always make ways that just be there.
Honestly. I've seen sometimes. I bought tickets. I don't have leave. I don't have space in the office. But we're going to come. That's how they came for the last retreat.
Yes.
I can still remember. Thank you so much to the power couple of the power couple. Yes, the mafia couple, like we call, and the conclave. And as we round up, right, can you quickly tell us what will be your top 3 books in the year? You can name them each. Let's go.
Okay, so for me, Connect to Correct, because that book changed me. I don't know. I've not seen any other book that dethroned that book. That book was my lifesaver. Because if you don't connect to your children, you can't control them. You can't even correct them. So it's not about control. Sorry, you can't connect with them and you can't tell them what to do. So another one that I will talk about is From Yelling to Calm. This used to be a high level. My daughter was saying somebody that this used to be my mom. I said, hey, so you are not using, so you are comparing somebody to my former mommy. I said, oh, so there's a former mommy. This used to be my former mommy. And my daughter said, this used to be my former mommy. Well, parenting advantage, raising an independent thinking child. Please, I want you to go and read that book. That book is something extra that you need to, because one time you are going to leave this kid, and how will they behave when you are not there? How will they make decisions? These are books that I have. Raising the Girl with Sense. These books are just.
You have started naming the raising series now. You have moved from 1 book to 10 books.
I don't want to talk again. I let my talk.
Okay, for me, just like she said, Connect to Correct is the in thing for me. And the thing is that most parents want to raise this command and control center. You cannot command what you didn't model.
Yes.
You have to model it so that they can follow you. Even Bible says, he said, I know of Abraham. He will command his family and his children. So as a father, if you are not ready to do the work, then your children, your family will go out of the way. They will not find themselves in the proper direction. So another thing I want to say is raising the boy you don't want to bail out. As a father, you must not be in this position that anything goes. When you are not there to make that assertion, to affirm whatever your wife is saying, they will just feel it is woman that is talking. But when your wife is saying it and you are also saying, no, you must do what your mother has said, then you don't have choice. So you don't need to bail them out. You don't need to say, they are still small. Small where? Let them grow. Let them see you doing it. And as you are doing it, they will know they don't have choice than to what? Than to do it. And she also mentioned raising independent thinking child.
Child.
Independent thinking child is very, very important.
Yes.
I love the book because if you don't create value, there is nothing your children will live for. They said rules are obeyed while values are what? Are internalized. No matter how you release this commandment, in fact, Jesus Christ, God is there, he released so many commandments, 10 commandments. But when the Israelites did not even value it, they cannot internalize it. They just feel like God is suffering them. But let them see value in whatever you are doing. Let them appreciate that, yes, this is the value you tend to derive. And when you value it, you go with it, you run with it, and you can behave in like manner. And so,
thank you so much, Engineer Ojo and Engineer Mrs. Ojo. I don't know how two engineers found themselves, married themselves. Because I met them, I was like, I don't understand what type of talking about. Like, both of you are engineers, like you are core engineers in the field. I'm like, what? The other day they were telling me a gist of, going to a how people actually get, when oil is betting in the sea. I was like, what are these people talking about? I mean, in my mind, I'm like, this story is giving me a headache. See, forget what you don't know, you don't know. I was almost like, yeah, your story, what are you talking about? I said, people can die, you just die, and then people just continue. I'm like, what is this saying? Such a time with you. Thank you to the Ojos. This has been an awesome, awesome morning. And yes, as we conclude, Engineer Ojo, what will you tell fathers who are listening to you?
To
Fathers.
Fathers, if you have not seen the community, I'm recommending this community for you. The intentional parenting community. It's not a place where they will be telling you this and that. This is a place where we have conversation on how your family should be and even what you yourself as a parent should look like. You know what you don't become, you cannot you cannot actualize. It is whatever you become that you can say, oh, my children should become this, my children should become that. But as a father, if you don't stand in that position of head in the family and say and direct your family, so what do you expect? We are in a society where everything is going haywire, everything is going anyhow. Come to this community, the intentional parenting community. Come to the yard. I want to invite you to the yard. Me, I have benefited from the yard, and I'm still benefiting, and I will still continue to benefit. I want you to be part of this. Come to the yard and unlearn those ways you have learned before. How your mother parenting you in this century, you can't work the same. You can't be working with old syllabus and expect to get what is happening in the 21st century. Come and unlearn and relearn and know how to parent and know how to live your life, how it will affect every aspect of your life and family. So I'm using this opportunity. Any father that is still hanging around like I did some years ago, come to the yard and join the yard before it is too late. Now is the day of salvation. So come into the yard and be part of the benefits. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Don't hang around like Engineer said. You hang around. You know this guy. Yes, my wife is doing TRP. I'm part of it. We're listening to it together. Sir, you are still outside.
Yes.
You are still outside. Tolu, over to you, please.
So thank you so much. For women that have been expecting their husband to join them, my husband said something: arrogance of knowledge. Let's stop pushing it to them. There is a way you communicate. I learned one thing in the yard: marketing to your husband. See, plenty things they this year though. There's no time to talk about it. How do you market a thing to your husband, to your children? The way you market a product determine how valuable the product is, how the person that is going to buy the product will be interested in it, how the person is going to bring money out to buy the product. How do you go about marketing the yard? Hey, they said we should do this. Hey, you're not doing this. You start shouting. No, it's not like that, though.
We don't know you when you shout.
It's not like that. You keep fighting your husband. You will not do this. You will not do that. Now only me, my sister. When they begin to see the results, they will join. When they begin to see, like Pastor said, I became a transformed person, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, really, it seems that this thing is working. Let me come and see." And when he came to see, he was able to see that, yeah, really,
It is working.
It is working.
It's working.
It's working.
It is working. So please, I want to beg us. Let's take it softly with our husband. They love us. They really do. You know, men is just, they don't just show how much they can't, but they really do. And that's why they married you. So, and anything you tell them in patience, in love, you know, there's a particular time you tell your husband some things and he will listen to you. Those time, look for those time. I'm talking about
Alone. So as that enter private matter. This is internal gist. It's all right. But it's correct. It's understand. The way you send your mouth and ask for that weed.
yes.
Same
So, thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much to Engineer and Engineer Ojo. The Ojos are up for a meeting this morning at work. They are actually both in the office and they both work in the same office. Amazing couple, awesome time with you. We don't take your time for granted. Of course, you guys know that I love you. I honor you.
Love you too,
I love you too.
All right. Love you guys. Have a good day. We're going to let you
Thank you, everyone. We love you.
We love you.
Celebrating us.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, Yana.
For those who are looking for Relic signature, I've seen a lot of where is Relics? Where is the website? All right. Because I'm sure that people are going to bombard me this morning. So Relic signature, of course, I usually would say to a lot of people that the Relic signature is where they have resources. Because when I started parenting, I had a problem with the way that children were watching screen. I had a problem with what screen was doing. And I knew. I started talking about screen autism 10 years ago. 10 years later, we are now in the place where it's become, everybody's running kitty kitty. Hey, we're now program sign, let children not use smartphone. We made a decision many years ago about how we should not use smartphone, how the children will not be able to use smartphone until they are 18. That decision was asked me. It was a gate. We were not eager to open. All right. And that's something that is very, very important. So from day one, we started to run through looking for resources. We used to travel like them Tolu, and then we'll buy resources. We'll buy the money we spent on Lego. When people say, hey, I bought book. Hey, we spend money. You're welcome. This is where you spend your money. You spend it judiciously, not on shawarma, not on burger, not on pizza, not even on DSTV. Shut it down. It's the time. Your hair is taking a lot. If you are spending 50K, do your hair every month. Cut the damn hair down and buy sell your wigs and buy wings for your children to fly. That's how it works. And we actually had to invest so much in Lego pieces. I remember going to travel to Dubai and we went to the Lego, land itself. All we went there to do was to get Lego pieces, different types and all of that. It's easy to see our son today, who is, almost 16, and our daughter. Their logical brain is so well developed. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I even had a parent like this. Our son will do a 99 in mathematics easily. Our daughter will do 80 something and say she's not good with maths. I'm like, I wish I even saw half of this to be talking about not being good in maths. I was having a conversation during the midterm with our son, and I said to him, they said that arts people, it's now optional for them to take maths. He said, Mommy, what do you mean? I said, why? He said, because anybody who is not doing mathematics will be dull. I just busted into laughter. He said, do you want them to be dull? Mathematics helps you think. See, there is nothing that you can, if you start from the beginning, you start from where your children are young, if they are, puzzles, games that actually will help them to think. Leave this TV and DSTV alone. You don't need it. I said it. I've not had DSTV in the past, God knows how long. And I really do not care. I curate the content that we want to watch. Our job in our home is to curate curriculum, to curate culture is our job. So everything that we're going to be doing is curated content and curated community. Because if you don't curate it, your children are led to anything. By the time we started to look for these resources, we were stuck by 2020. There was no way to find these resources. And then, boom, Relic Signature came up. That was like a miracle to me. There's no kind of game you won't find in my home. I think we have over 100 pieces of different kinds of games, even the ones you don't know. Our home is full of non-screen resources you can't think about. I will rather buy books for my children and buy games. I was going to give a gift to one of my friend's sons, one of my sons, right? And he said, Auntie Wendy, I know that gift must have a book inside. I said, now you know the way. It will have a book. How do you wake up and hey, I don't even know how many books I'm going to read. I've not read anything. How do you want to grow? How? And the problem is that nobody really taught us. Now, it's easy to come and say, oh, your children are doing this. Oh, your children are now at this level. People have sown seed, though. I have sown seed. It's impossible that our children will write mathematics and fail it. It doesn't matter. We've never hired a math teacher. Never. We don't need it. You don't need a math teacher to get your children to actually do math well. I say it in the inner circle all the time, and I provide strategies. And one thing that Yada's children do well is mathematics. You know why? I struggled with it, and I found that there was a fundamental problem. For an A student that was making a C in math, that was a failure according to my father. My father said, you are failing math. I'm like, but it's a C. He said, you are failing it. You make an A1 in subjects, even up to Igbo language, and then you're making a C in math. I struggled. I made a C6. I struggled with mathematics. And I knew that there was something missing. There was a missing link. And I was determined to actually chase it to the end. These are some of the things that you actually learn in the yard. And let me say to you, do not forget that the inner circle will stretch you, will teach you. You will learn. You will read. Somebody said, I bought all my books. I'm ready. I'm sure that there's nothing else I'm going to be doing and all of that. In the inner circle, you even hear books in the past tense as I'm teaching. You will get intoxicated with it. I'm not going to come to your house. No. There is a grace that flows in this place. There is a grace that flows in the Intentional Parent Academy. Oh, there is. Oh, there is. You get in here, you allow yourself through the process, your life turns around completely. I have watched people from the back become. I have seen transformations too. I have seen people transform. I have even seen myself transform. Do you know where they are cooking us? You think inner circle is a joke. No, this is a structured system. I hear people say, hey, the WhatsApp chat, hey, it's going to overwhelm me. Hey, are you sure that it's not a WhatsApp community for your information? You do anyhow, we take you out. We don't do, hey, it's my birthday. Hey, my father died. Hey, my mother died. Keep it out. We don't want it. We don't need it. We're here for business. So any chat that you see in the yard is relevant to your journey. If anything, pin your cohort, pin it on top, and begin to read the content. Even when people do introductions, there's something to learn. Oh, yes, I've learned a lot. Listening to people just introduce themselves. Just to me. If you are not sensitive, you will never learn. Even in classes like this, you learn, you pick things every day. I was sharing with the Inner Circle parents this morning, and I was talking about the report and the results. I'm going to share a bit of it for you as you navigate this morning to go end your day. And believe you me, this is something that quite a number of us do not pay attention to because we think that it's about the result. No, it's not about the result. And you register for Inner Circle, it will change your life. It's 17 days to go. 17 days to go. 17 days. And 17 days, we shut the app. We don't open it. Somebody chatted me yesterday. I waited from 1st of December last year till now. I'm still waiting. It's not because we want to be mean and not open the Inner Circle. No, it is because we understand transformation and you don't do it just by anyhow. When you read the Bible in Hebrews 11, 1 to 2, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And for by it, the elders obtained a good report. The elders are the heroes of faith. We're talking about Abraham. We're talking about Noah. We're talking about Sarah. We're talking about Moses. They are the people who lived before and those whose life were marked by faith. Now, the Bible said they obtained a good report. That's my best part of of the scripture. You don't see it all at first. I've read that scripture many times. It's not because they were perfect. It was because they trusted God consistently. Even when they didn't see results immediately. Their faith is what produced the evidence, a life that testified of God's, faithfulness. Their faith was their report card. And that was what God saw, and God just marked it. Many of us today want good result without a good report. How do you want to have a good result without a good report? In God's kingdom, your report is what matters more than your result. What is your report? Your report is your registration in the Inner Circle. That's your report. Your report is what it is that you have been able to do. That's your report. Your result is the achievement, your visibility. Your report is your consistency, your character. When you were listening to Engineer Mrs. Ojo, Engineer Mrs. Ojo said, my character have changed. That is your report. That is your report. That is your report. Your report are the things that you put in. A good report. A good report. A good report. Are you going to invest in a good report or you are pursuing result? I have an announcement for everybody who is entering the yard. It is about your report before it is about your result. So if you are here, the elders didn't get a good report because life was easy. What did they? I don't know. Inner Circle will be easy. I'm talking about people who work in rigs. I've seen a yada father do review from the rig. If you want it. If you want it, you want it. They got it because they believed, not even when nothing made sense. Their faith was steady. Their results became eternal. Today we quote them. Today we are chasing good results. But God is looking for good report. A report that says, you are here, you stood. You trusted through the storm. You didn't give up. That's the report for your child. Not that I have done everything. No, you have not done everything. It is arrogant to even think as a parent that you have done everything. How dare you? Are you God? How do you know everything? How could you have done everything? You haven't done everything. You have only done what is available to you to actually do at a time. You can't have done everything. You've done everything that is disposable to you. Your faith is your report card. Your life testifies like the other. No, it's not just because of what you have achieved, but it's because of what you have believed. How much do you believe? That's what speaks. Your belief. Even when your results are not seen. The first thing you want to learn is how to follow instructions. The elders obtained a good report. What will be your report? What will be your report? If you are here and you really want to obtain a report, then you want to start first to key into something that will help you get that report out. The Inner Circle program is not because we're talking about it. It's the best thing that can happen to you on your parenting journey and in every part of your life. If anything, just staying in a community will change your life. It will rub you off. It will rub you off. You will see tangibility. There are some people who can never come on my intentional parenting journey because of where, what it is that they are in the society. But when I sit with them, I'm wowed with their testimonies. I've had people turn businesses into multi-million naira businesses just by being here and by applying the things that they are hearing here. It's not about parenting, it's about your life. It's about your life. Your life gets transformed and changed. Join the inner circle today. And the inner circle is, so I can see this book is locked. So the inner circle is 140 today, right? Yes, it's gone back. Yesterday there was an offer. Of course, it's gone back to just one slot is 140,000. This is only in 24 hours, and double slot is 220, right? Double slot means that you have a couple, you and your husband, or you and your wife. You heard Engineer Ojo, come in with your spouse. Fathers, don't leave parenting. It was Apostle Ifeanyi that said that the mandate actually goes to, the prosperity goes to the person who has the mandate. And I think the people who are even more active are the busier people. The people who complain about trust me, but when your schedule is not as busy as the people I know who are active in the inner circle. No. It's a choice. It's a choice. You make a choice. Yeah, that Thursday shall be hot. I have some revelations for you. Some things I cannot say here. If I say here, they might stone me like Jesus Christ, right? That time that Jesus Christ was out there, say, how can you say that you are the Son of God? How? Yes, please get into the yard and obtain a good report for your result. Before your result comes alive, the report must be live. If a student is going to do well in their result, their report must be good. It's your report card that determines your result card. It's your report card that determines your result card. So stop chasing your results. Begin to chase your report. This is where I end today, because it's beginning to look like we're getting into somewhere that I don't want to, but I'm sure that this is the word for somebody. Do not forget the word of the day. You must stay controlled so your life will not go out of control. Go and get, if you're an incoming here that you're listening to me, go and get your books, get your guide, sit down, invest in this process. It's an asset. It's an asset. Investing in your mind is an asset, because your mind can bring you even something, that money that you're looking for. But it is an asset. Invest in your mind. Invest. Please don't come to the inner circle and say, are they reading book? Must I have it? You must read, and you must have your books. It's compulsory, it's not negotiable. All these questions, hey, should I read? Should I not read? It's not here. Please, we don't do that here. We read like our life depends on it, because it does. That's the process of our obtaining a good report. The Bible says, study to show yourself approved. Our approval, even in the system, in parenting, will come from how much we can study. How much we can study. Are you ready to study? If you're not ready to study, please don't. I'm not your coach. No. I don't coach people that just want to be spoon-fed. No, not here. You will come, and you will come ready to move. I'm sure by the time you're listening to the first webinar, which is 1st of December, and then first webinar Thursday following, it will do some kind of level of reset, and I love it. So yes, your mind is an asset. Invest in it. You're going to pay for courses. You're going to pay for classes. You're going to register your children for camp. You're going to go for things. Please get ready. It's an investment in your mind. Stay for it, because yes, that's what it is, and that's what will give you a good report. Thank you so much for being here. The first book we're reviewing in December will be the Family Governing Systems. Get it, begin to review it. You will read it, you will do your family governing systems, you will submit it. Yes, accountability is a big deal for us. So wake up, sit up. We're not playing. It is our life. Our destiny is not a joke. I don't know about you, but my destiny is not a joke to me. No, it's not. So we can't afford to do things anyhow because our life will not go anyhow. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, your mind is an asset. Please invest in your mind. Have an amazing day, everybody, and see you tomorrow at 8.
Common phrases in the inner circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an inner circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me. I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the inner circle, we dey walk and they show.
CIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
why not?